And now, for the most famous live show coming to you from the Shenango Valley, because it's the only live show coming to you from the Shenango Valley, live with Sean Zip-Eye and the Zip Code. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great show for you tonight. We're going to get right to it because I'm super excited about inviting Sam Bakhtiar, who is originally from Iran. Then he came to the Shenango Valley, grew up in the Shenango Valley, and then went to Penn State, then moved out to California. But we're going to get to him right away because I'm super pumped to have him on. Don't forget to follow the zip code, _zip code on Instagram. But we're going to get to Sam right away because we got a lot to talk to him about. So I'm going to bring him in right now. Let's bring in Sam Bakhtiar here. Bring him in here. Sam, if you're watching, I'm going to need you to join again. So, folks, don't forget to follow us, and you can follow Sam as well. And then, remember, if we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, or maybe if we get our following big enough on Instagram, you will see the producer. So let's bring in Sam. There he is. Here we go. Shenango Valley Studios. There he is. Sam, what's up, man?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Look at that. Look at that nice background you got there. Did you read all those books?
Almost all of them. Almost all of them. Yeah.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
And you're being legit too.
Yes.
Wow. That's unbelievable, man. I love it.
I love your background, bro. You look good. I love the hat. I like everything. They look perfect.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta thank the sponsor Sheets. You know, I gotta show them some love every once in a while during the show.
Oh, Sheets, man. I love Sheets. Oh my God.
Hey, when was the last time you had Sheets?
A couple of years ago, when I came to give the scholarship to Sharon, you know, I had to stop at Sheets. I had to get me some hot dogs. You know, I had to give me some goodies, man. Sheets is off the chain.
Love it. Yes, it is. And for those of you that don't know about Sheets, Sheets is a convenience store, and it's a gas station, and it has made-to-order food. It has amazing drinks, all types of snacks, and I mean, I'm big on the MTOs, so anything made-to-order late night, Sheets is where it's at, man.
Bro, I wish they had him in California. You know, Sheets is one of those, like, you know, kind of like, you know, PA kind of things, man. That,
right.
You know, and they have everything, man. Gosh, no, I think I went to the Sheets and they have some great ice cream and everything. Everything.
So I think Sheets has over 700 locations now. They've started to move south, and now they're moving a little bit west, a little bit more into Ohio. And who knows, man? Maybe in like 10 years or something, they'll just be owned in the whole U.S.
Bro, I would love to invest in that company because that's wholly believable. They love, I mean, everything there is great.
Yeah, well, it's still private, but eventually we might be able to. Who knows? But hey, let me just tell you, Sam, real fast. Let me give you a layout here. We're going to get to your journey all the way from you being born in Iran to where you are now. And then I have some questions that some people have sent us to ask you, so we'll get to that. And then we'll get to my favorite round, which is called the rapid fire round, where I throw a bunch of random fun questions at you so we get to really learn some interesting things about Sam Bakhtiar.
It's going to be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, let's get to it. So, hey, can you give us a little bit of a rundown of where you came from all the way until now? Just give us a little bit of a summary, and then I'll start to pick apart some points as we go.
So I was born in Iran, which is a third world country, and I came to the United States in 1985 when I was 11 years old. But I came to the United States because back then my country, my former country, got attacked by Saddam Hussein. You know, and we were getting bombed on every night and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, my mom said, you know, I don't want my son to die, my only son to die. We left, you know, Iran with $500, one luggage, and came to America. And when I thought I was coming to America, I thought I was coming to, you know, Beverly Hills. That's what I thought, you know, because I was watching American television shows, and that was my research. They didn't have Google. They didn't have the internet back then. So I was watching American TV shows. Back then, there was TV shows like Dallas, Dynasty, and the A-Team. And I thought everybody in you know, in America had mansions and Bentleys and swimming pools. And bro, we came to Sharon, PA, and my uncle had a convenience store in Farrell on Idaho Street. You know, and Idaho Street back then in 1985 is when all the cinemas were shutting down, and Idaho Street was full of pimps, prostitutes, and crack dealers. You know what I mean? And that was my first impression of, United States. I'm like, I thought I was coming to Beverly Hills. I went to Idaho Street in Farrell. And I was like, wow, what happened to the mansions and Bentleys? And what was worse was, I went to Sharon High School, and I wanted to enroll in seventh grade, and I wanted to, play soccer, football, and in 1985, they had football, baseball, and basketball, and I never heard of soccer, and I was just devastated. Long story short, I got tough on the basketball team. I fell in love with weightlifting, and today, I own the Camp franchise, which has over 120 locations in the country and worldwide, and also own two nutrition supplementation companies.
So where was the building at where you fell in love with weightlifting? For those of everybody watching in the Shenango Valley.
FX Buell Club, baby.
The
FX
Buell
Buell
Club.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So
All started me there.
when you started working out, were you like around 12, 13 years old, or were you already in high school?
I was 12 years old. I was 130 pounds soaking wet with real skinny arms and skinny chest and a fat belly. You know what I mean? And I remember, I got cut from the basketball team. I tried out for the basketball team for Sharon because I didn't know anything about football or baseball. I tried out for the basketball team. 23 people, went out for the basketball team. 22 out of 23, 22 made it. One didn't make it. And guess who that was? That was me. And I never forget, it was in a middle school. It was in a middle school gym. And I walked from that middle school gym in Sharon to West Hill, which was where our home was, in the snow, crying the whole time. I was bawling my whole time. I went home. I slammed the door. My mom said, "What's wrong?" I told my mom, "Mom, I don't like this country. I don't like America. I want to go back. I want to go back." And I said, "I'm getting bullied. People call me names. I'm getting beat up. I'm getting, all that kind of stuff." And my mom said something to me, a few things to me that changed my life forever. My mom said, my mom said, first of all, we can't go back. We came here as refugees, and we can't go back. We escaped the country. So right there and then, I learned the concept of burning the boats. You know what? Sometimes you just have to go and never look back. Two, my mom sent me a concept and said, "Sam, listen, do you really want to play basketball?" I go, "Yes. I got to do something. I don't belong in anything. At that time, I was 11, 12 years old. I needed to belong to something, And she said, "Well, here's the thing. You can do whatever you want and be whatever you want as long as you're willing to put in the work. So if you're willing to put in the work, let's put a plan together." I said, "I'm willing to put in the work." So my mom said, "All right. So you get out of Sharon at 2:15, 2:14 exactly. I remember." She said, "From then, get out of Sharon, walk to Buell's Club, and practice basketball." And I practice basketball, and then I pick you up at 5 o'clock after work. Then you can go do your homework, take a shower, and repeat. So every day, that was my plan, Monday through Friday. And then one day, I remember I was going to the Buell Club. I was going to play basketball, but I saw this one little room up there. For those, if you know where Buell Club is, the weight room used to be upstairs in that little room. Now Yep. It's like a golf thing, right? So these guys, man, they're all buffed. They all look like Arnold and Sylvester Stallone. They were coming, going up the stairs. I'm like, what is up there? I was watching those Arnold movies, and I'm like, man, I want to be like those guys, man. So I went up there one time and to see what's going on. And bro, there were a bunch of guys, a bunch of steel workers in their overall, in their steel boots, lifting insane weights, cursing at each other, slapping each other, spitting tobacco. And I was just like, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, to my surprise. But here's to my surprise. I walked in and I was immediately accepted. All those big guys who were intimidating, they took me under the wing. They saw that I'm the little scrawny kid, scrawny kid, and they're like, "Well, come over here. Let us show you what to do." And they were fun and they were happy, and that became my gang. That was the gang that I belonged to. To all these big, huge guys that were lifting insane weights, they accepted me where nobody else accepted me in Sharon High at the time. That became my safe haven, my belonging. So every day after school, I would come over there and I would just like see what these guys are doing. I was trying to emulate what they're doing. And that's how I became, I fell in love with lifting weights and transforming myself. I transformed myself, and then lifting weights not only transformed me physically, but it also transformed me mentally. and emotionally, and it really helped me in all aspects of my life.
So back in the early 80s, were you one of the only Middle Eastern students at Sharon?
I was the only one.
The only one.
The only one.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I was the only minority because I don't remember seeing any Asians. I don't remember seeing any Mexicans, you know. And to this day, Sharon and that area is a very homogeneously populated. So, I would say probably less than 5 or 10% of people, even right now, 30 years later. So at that time, I remember, I think I was the only minority in the entire school.
Interesting. So what was that like coming from Iran to Sharon, and what was that process that your mother had to take to get you guys to the United States?
Well, we couldn't come directly to America because United States and Iran never had a diplomatic relationship. So you can't fly directly and all that. So what we had to do is we had to go to France as refugees, wait there for a year to get accepted as refugees and come to America. You know, and that was the process. It was not easy.
Yeah. So let's get into some of the things that you're doing now, Sam. I got a laundry list here, so just relax. So co-founder of the Camp Transformation Center. You got over 100 locations. We'll dive into that. You, CEO of 1% Nutrition. You're the first bodybuilder in history to win first place in every weight class. You got your Bachelor's of Science degree from Penn State in Sports Science and Life Science. Doctor of Chiropractic from Los Angeles College of Chiropractic. Mr. Orange County, Mr. Pittsburgh, Mr. California, Emerald Cup, Tournament Champions, a runner-up of Mr. USA, and you got a 1% podcast.
Yes, correct. Wow, wow. You know
When
more
do you
about me than
sleep?
I do myself, man. Good job, bro.
When do you sleep, brother?
Bro, you know what, man? I'm too excited about life to sleep. I'm too excited. I sleep enough so I can function the next day, but life is too precious. And believe me, I'm gonna tell you this straight up. If I can hack not sleeping, I won't. You know what I mean? If I can hack, but obviously you can't. But if there was a way to hack it, I would like to be, I would like to get up. I like to experience stuff. I like to meet people. I like to do work, and I just like to progress in life.
Right, right. So where does that motivation and that dedication and that drive come from? Did you get that from your mom at a young age, or your parents from a young age? Or you see it from a sibling? Where did you get that from?
Well, there's a few things. One was, that speech that my mom told me. So you can do or be whatever you want as long as you want to do, willing to do work. And that has become my mantra. My mantra. When I first started, remember when I first went to that weight room, I told people, hey man, I want to lift weights and I want to be a bodybuilder. Dude, people looked at me like, you're 130 pounds with a big belly and no arms and no thing. But bro, I went in there, worked out 2, 3, 4 hours a day. I would sit on the bench and I would bench for like 2 hours. I would do shoulders for 2 hours. I would just work till I became the first bodybuilder in history to have a weight place title. That little scrawny kid did something that place has never seen before, but not because I had the best genetics, not because I had, I was better than anybody else, because I just had, I was willing to pay the price. I was willing to do the work, and that's why, man. I mean, and also I saw how some of my family members kind of just wasted time. All they did was sit around and kind of watch TV or just entertain themselves and just pass time. Time is too precious. We all know that, tomorrow's not promised to anyone. You born here and you die here, and what you do in between is what your legacy is going to be. I don't know about you, but I don't want my legacy to be Netflix. I don't want to be a professional at movie watching. I don't want to be a professional at drinking. I don't want to be a professional at wasting my life. I want to be able to be a professional to make a difference in this world. I want to be able to leave by the time I leave this world to say, hey, Sam made a difference in my life. Sam helped me do this. Sam did this for the community. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and to that point, I'm going to kind of just tell myself a little bit here. I'm a huge sports guy. And I think sometimes, I get caught up in, college football, NFL, whatever it is. And I start to think, and I've talked to my brother and some of my buddies about this. When I start consuming a lot of that, I think to myself, down the road, I don't want anybody to say, oh, wow, like Sean Zipai, man, he was a huge Penn State football fan, or he was a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Like what does that really do? It's nothing. We're just consuming it. I mean, I understand the fellowship aspect of it, which is great, and your friends and whatnot. But if that is consuming a lot of your time, what does it actually do for you?
Well, you know what, man? There's nothing wrong with watching a little bit of football and doing that in moderation as long as you're crushing it. And I know you're somebody who crushes it. You crush it every day, so you earn that. So it's okay if you say, hey man, if I crush it all week, if I crush it all week, I'm gonna watch this game. You earned it. But if you're just doing that 24/7 and all you do is doing that, if you're living vicariously through somebody else, if you know more about the football team than you know about your own family, your own kids, then there's a problem, right? And one of my mentors told me, like, don't watch the game, play the game,
Yeah.
be in the game. Don't be in the sidelines watching. Every time I go to a football game, it's crazy. I see these fans. Man. I go, we see these fans, and the player makes a mistake or fumbles the ball. Oh man, come on, man, I could have done it. Come on, man, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. Shut the fuck up. Sit your drunk ass down. You know what I mean? Let the professional guy do what he does. If you could have done what he's been doing, then you would have done. You'd have been in there. Obviously, you're not. You're on the sidelines. He's playing in the game.
Right. Yeah. Couch quarterbacks, right?
Yes, exactly.
So let's switch gears here a little bit and let's get into the Camp Transformation Center. I want you to take us actually from when you graduated from chiropractic school and started training people in and around LA, and then take us into how the Transformation Center started, how the camp started.
So, I graduated from chiropractic school literally in December 15th of 1999. Got my degree. Matter of fact, it's sitting right in front of me. I gave it to my mom. I said, Mom, this was your wish. You want to become a doctor because you want to, that was your wish for me. So I got my degree to my mom. My mom held it up like LeBron James winning the first championship. She was so proud. She called all her friends. My son is a doctor and all that kind of stuff. And I said, Mom, now can I open up a gym? I want to open up a gym. And she goes, okay, but you're going to practice chiropractic? I kind of wink. I'm like, yes, okay, I will. But I didn't have no intention. So I put up my first gym. I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about, accounting. I don't know anything about sales, marketing. But I just knew how to get people in shape. And I knew that I was willing to work whatever hours, 24/7. And I did. For the first few years, man, I worked literally 70, 80 hours a week. I was working from 4:30 a.m. to like 9, 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday 7 to 3, and even Sunday from 7 to noon. And I got the business off the ground. I had the business off the ground. I was doing well, and now I hired some trainers to be under me, and I started making some good money. And when I made good money back then, to me it was a lot. I was 27 years old, fresh out of school. I was making 10, 15, sometimes 20 grand a month. And remember, listen, man, 10, 15, 20 grand a month in Sharon, Farrell, that's good money.
Great
That's
money.
baller, that's P. Diddy money. And I had the same concept. I'm a little poor guy from Sharon. Look, man, I'm so I was in Farrell. I was in Sharon, so I'm from that area where people make 2, 3 grand a month. I mean, that was you could make a great living. I'm making 15, 10, 15, 20 a month. You couldn't tell me anything. I had no financial literacy. So I was like one of those rappers that started making money, and like now I'm like, hey man, let's go to the club, let's make it rain, let's get bottle service, and next thing I bought a truck, I bought a BMW, I bought a motorcycle, I bought a house, and I fully over leveraged myself, and then came 2008, where the economy crashed down, how the housing market went down, customers weren't coming in, and I learned a big lesson, and the big lesson was when things are good, they're not always going to be good. Life has its seasons. So when things are good, you have to prepare for a winter season. And when things are bad, you got to have faith. You have to be resilient and know that just keep going and you'll go through it.
Yeah. And is that the point where the camp transformation started?
Yeah, the Camp Transformation Center was totally out of desperation, because when you're desperate, you're willing to try things. When you're doing good, you're kind of like sitting fat and you're kind of sitting on your ego and you think, everything you do is good. But when I was desperate because I wasn't be able to pay the bills, now I'm getting foreclosure notices on my house. Now I'm getting the creditors calling me, and I didn't know what to do. So now I'm trying all these different things. Now, instead of one-on-one training, we're doing group training. Now we're doing large group training. So we did so many different variations, and we came up with the camp, which what it did was, instead of doing one-on-one training with people that cost $400, $500, $600 a month that people couldn't afford, now we're doing one trainer with like 20 people, 30 people. At first I'm like, this is not going to work. because people need one-on-one attention. But I was willing to try anything because I was desperate. So we tried it, and to my surprise, not only people paid less money, the company was more profitable, that people got better results and stayed longer. So it was a win, 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 win in every direction. So once we found the formula, all we had to do is rinse and repeat and keep growing it in different locations. And that's how the camp was born.
So for a lot of people that don't know the business model and what you guys actually do at the camp, can you explain that to the viewers?
So the camp is basically a boot camp training facility where we don't have a traditional gym when there's a lot of weights and a lot of machines. You just use a lot of, barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells, resistant bands, and your own body weight for training, which is, basically it's called HIIT training, high intensity interval, training. And what that does is, it minimizes the talking, because one-on-one training used to be like a therapy session.
Yeah.
You get with the client, and you get to know the client, and next you know how you doing, how's your husband doing, how's your wife doing. Next it's a lot of this and not enough of this. You know what I mean? So to my surprise, it was so much better, and it got so much better, and it was so much more profitable, so much more enjoyable business model.
And you guys have how many locations now, and where are they usually at?
We have 110 locations right now. We're all over the country. Heavily in the West Coast, but we have some in Florida, in Texas, in Arizona, in Illinois, so we have that, and we also have a few locations in Mexico.
Okay, and it's a franchise, correct?
Correct.
Beautiful. All right, so let's get into a couple questions here that we have that were sent in. Sheets run and done. Thank you, Sheets. Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're here with Sam Bakhtiar, entrepreneur. Hey, Sam, I read this too. I like that you were at Entrepreneur Magazine, Disrupt Magazine. Those are good articles, man. I love that.
Thank you. And don't forget Forbes. That was a big one. Yep.
Forbes.
Thank you.
How could I forget Forbes?
I know that was like, that's when I knew. I'm like, oh my God, like Forbes. That was the big one for me, man. I'm like, that was the one I wanted to be in, and when I finally did that, I was just so happy.
Right. You probably saw that, and you're just like, all right, this is, I'm getting there. So first question, how can I prepare myself for success even though I'm just a high school student?
The best way for you to prepare yourself for success is surround yourself with successful people. Be around successful people. Now, a lot of people are like, well, how can I surround myself with successful people? I mean, look, I have 2 guys right now that are in my house working with me, alongside of me, that they just came in. They said, look, Sam, we want to work for free. We just want to hang out with you, and we want to learn. That was their thing. And I'm like, I can't go wrong with that. So they came in and they started crushing it. They came in on time, they started crushing it. And next thing you know, I'm like, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Let me just hire you. And I hired them. So, but a lot of people you don't go to, someone who's like already made it, already successful, like, hey man, I want to work for you. How much are you going to pay me? No, don't do that. First give. And then when you go and this guy who, this guy or this girl who's like very successful sees that, hey, you are legitimate, they're going to want to hire you anyway.
Yep.
Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with successful people. Proximity is power. They say that you make, the average of the 5 people you hang around with, right? Just take around the 5 people you hang around with. You make the exact same thing as their average. So who's your average?
Right. That's a great point. Yeah. I mean, we all are essentially, environment in life is huge. Wherever your current environment is huge. If you don't like your environment, you can change your environment. You have that opportunity. Yes, sometimes it's harder to come from a different environment, but I mean, look at you. You're somebody that came from a difficult environment, and here you are. So I completely agree with you. Next question. How many cars do you have, and which is your favorite?
Dude, I have right now, I'm down. I think I have about 7 or 8 cars right now. At one time I had 19. But now, I wasn't married. Now I'm married and I have children, more children and all that kind of stuff. Believe it or not, man, my favorite car is my least expensive Infiniti QX80. The reason for that is that sometimes I just want to drive and I want to just, park wherever I want. If I hit a curb, I'm okay. And if I hit a curb with my Lamborghini, that's a $20,000 mistake. When I drive the Lamborghini, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want somebody denting and scratching it because that could be, So as I got older, when I was the kid from Sharon, I always wanted the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Porsche, the G-Wagon. I wanted that. And I got that. I got the Rolls. I got all that. But when I achieved that, I saw that success is not about the money. It's more about the achievement. Not that I achieved that. I'm very, very comfortable with myself. Look, man, I got literally $500,000 worth of watches. But guess what? Watch I wear every single time. This one. When you get to a certain level, you don't have to prove yourself anymore. You know who you are, and you're comfortable with who you are. I have some shoes that, they're in the 5 figures. That's how much they cost. But this is what I wear every day. Because you're comfortable with yourself. And when I was coming up, the little poor guy from Sharon, I wanted to prove myself. I wanted, when I made some money, I wanted to prove everybody I made it. Look at me. Look at my car. Look at this. Look at that. And when I did it, I'm like, you know what? I'm good now. I'm good. I don't need to show off. The best thing to be humble and be hungry.
Yep. I love it. And I like that one video of you in your closet where you got over like 400 pairs of shoes and you're just like rocking the random Asics or something with the nice like black socks. And you're
Those
like,
are
hey.
my favorite, man. My Asics are my favorite. My wife is like, you look like such a nerd. You have all these nice. I'm like, dude, Asics, and these are the ones that I have for like 2 years. I've been wearing them every single day for 2 years. Going to walk. I'm like, I love this, man. They feel perfect.
Oh, that's great. The next question we got is, what is one intangible asset that many successful entrepreneurs all share?
Intangible asset.
That's a good one.
I would say being relentless. Because look, when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of obstacles in the way. If you're going to have an obstacle in the way and you're going to quit, then you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. So obstacle is not in the way. Obstacle is the way.
That's good.
Okay, because if you're going to go to the next level, it's not going to be an easy road. It's going to go like this. Because if it was easy, then everybody would just go like this. If it was easy for everybody to have a six-pack ab and look amazing, then guess what? Everybody will have a six-pack ab. But guess what? Like 1% of the population, 2% of the population have that. If it was easy for everybody to be a millionaire, then everybody would have been a millionaire. You know what? Again, it goes back to what my mom taught me. Are you willing to pay the price? A lot of people want to be a millionaire, but they're not willing to pay the price. A lot of people want to have, be shredded and be healthy, but not willing to pay the price.
Yep. We already got to this next question. It just says, what's the United States? What was it like? Was it like what you expected? But you kind of already touched on that.
Yeah.
You thought Sharon, PA was going to be like Beverly Hills.
Bro. And then when I moved to California, bro, I remember me getting pulled over by the cops because like I had a Toyota MR2. In Sharon, back then, a Toyota MR2 was a baller car. Because I worked my ass off at the cheese factory in Wilmington. I worked at the beer sales drive-through, and I worked at McDonald's on East State Street, and I got fired from McDonald's. I got fired from McDonald's on East State Street. The manager took me outside and said, Sam, if you don't like the way we do things, he pointed to Burger King across the street and said, you can go work up there. No joke, bro. And
so why'd they fire you? Why'd they fire you at McDonald's? Because
I didn't want to do things their way. I was like, hey, there's a better way. There's a better way. I said, fries looks better. It's a little more crispier.
Hey, if you want to have it your way, literally, you can go to Burger King. That's their slogan.
That's exactly what she said. You can have it your way. Go to Burger King. But the manager, she fired me.
Wow. Sam, I got to admit, man, I still live in the Shenango Valley. I love the Shenango Valley. I love your humble beginnings, man. I love it.
Shenango Valley is the grounds that made me who I am today. Shenango Valley, when they said, where's home? I said, Sharon. Even though I was in Sharon, from 7th grade till I would say 12th grade, 5 years. But Sharon is what made me, so I thank God for Sharon because I want to be who I am without being in the Shenango Valley and be a product of it.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a good one. One day was Sam Bakhtiar and his schedule. So can you give us maybe a few little things, like what time you wake up in the morning, what you do? Just give us a little summary.
I like, I'm pretty methodical, right? So I came up with what I call my perfect day formula. What I got to do to win the day. I'm all about you got to win the day. Before you can win the week or win the month or win the year, you got to win the day. So I get up at 4 a.m. I work out from 5 to 6:30. I come home. I wake up my son. I have breakfast with the family. Then I take my son for a 2-mile walk, my little 1-year-old, and then I start work. I start working. I can work from anywhere. I can work from office or I can work from here. That's the cool thing about what I do. And I work till about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and after that I shut everything down. It's 100% focused on family, having dinner, being present, and being with the family.
And then what time you go into bed usually?
Between 9 and 10.
Okay. So you're getting like around 5 hours of sleep, maybe.
About 5 to 6 hours of sleep.
All right. Not awful. I mean,
No, it's not.
I get more than
it's
that.
not awful. I learned that between 5 and 6, I'm good. 7, I'm like Superman. 8 is like I'm actually more tired.
Right.
So I can't even sleep 8 hours. To me, I'm just too tired after that.
There's a sweet spot in there.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, if you're just joining us on the zip code, we have Sam Bakhtiar, product of the Shenango Valley. We're going to get to the Shenango Valley in a little bit, Sam, but I'm actually going to jump into the rapid fire round, which is a favorite segment of the show, where I ask you a bunch of random questions and you answer them honestly. They're all very safe questions. Last week we had on, let me see, who do we have on last week? Last week we had on, oh my gosh, I can't even think who we had on. Oh, we had on Mike Adams from the Shenango Valley, played in the NFL. He crushed the segment, so the pressure's on.
Oh, man, you got a great NFL player. Okay, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire round with Sam Bakhtiar. Here we go. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Childhood
let me tell you what pizza, though. Scotto's.
Scotto's pizza.
Scotto's square pizza is still my favorite pizza in the entire world. Go see Tony. Go see Carlos. Go see Carlos. I still go there. Every time I come there, I go see Carlos. I'm going to give me those square pizza, man.
I see Carlos all the time, man.
You tell him. Every time I'm in town, I'm going there. I'm getting the square pizza.
I got to tell him. And listen,
I've been all over the world. Scotto's pizza is the bomb diggity.
You heard it here first, folks. If you ever come to Hermitage, Pennsylvania in the Shenango Valley, you got to go to Scotto's. And I will say this. My palate changes a little bit, so I do love Scotto's, but my personal favorite is actually Luigi's. Have you had Luigi's before?
Yes, I remember. Luigi's is good. And Plaza Pizza is good, too. Plaza Pizza is not too bad either.
Still there. Plaza still. Oh, yeah. All right, so favorite food, pizza from Scotto's. We got it. All right, childhood hero.
Say that again?
Childhood hero.
Superman.
Favorite sport.
Football right now.
Favorite movie.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Last time you had fast food.
Last week.
Best vacation spot.
Puerto Rico and Dorado Beach, Puerto Rico.
Favorite professional sports team.
Steelers, man. I get a lot of flack here in LA. I'm still a Steelers fan, man.
Amen. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
One interesting fact people usually don't know about Sam Bakhtiar.
One interesting fact that I got beat up by a girl in Sharon High School. I got my ass whipped. For real. When I first came to Sharon High School in 7th grade, I remember, there was a girl there. I said something and she just grabbed me. She was a lot bigger than me. She grabbed me and literally threw me across, into lockers.
And that's when you start hitting the Bill Club.
I was like, man, this sucks, man. Talking about all the guys laughing at me. Like, you got beat up by a girl. I got beat up by a girl. I got my ass whooped by a girl.
Wow. All right, that's an interesting fact about you for sure. How often do you come back to the Shenango Valley?
I try to come in every year to present my scholarship. I have what's called Sam Bakhtiar Relentless Scholarship that I present to all Sharon students. And I give away $10,000 every year. And so I come in every year for graduation. But obviously this year we did it remotely because of COVID.
Well, thanks for providing that scholarship, man. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Appreciate
Of
it.
course.
That's awesome. What's one word you hope people use to describe you?
Caring.
Gym clothes or a tailored suit?
Gym clothes all day.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
6.
On average, how many hours of TV do you watch per week?
2.
Leg day, arm day, or total body?
Total body.
One sport you're bad at?
Everything. I suck at everything, man. I'm good at weightlifting. I'm pretty much a suck at everything else.
We appreciate your honesty, man.
So I'm not gonna fake it, but I suck at every sport.
Favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby is driving fast cars.
Where will all right, this is the most important one. This is the last one. Where will the zip code be in 5 years?
The zip code, the show.
The show.
I have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, 100,000 followers, and I love what you're doing for the community, bro. I truly appreciate what you're doing for the community, bringing light to Shenango Valley. When you first messaged me, I'm like, are you even from Shenango Valley? You go, yeah. So that's why I was like, I'll take the show. And then when my cousin told me about you, I'm like, man, this is so awesome you're doing that, because Shenango Valley has so many hidden gems that people don't realize.
100%. Yeah, and shout out to Reza for being my buddy back in high school and for getting the hookup, man. Appreciate it. And no, I mean, we appreciate you taking the time, Sam. We know you got a busy schedule. Obviously, you got a family. Appreciate you taking the time and coming on. And let's talk about a little about Shenango Valley. And I'm so passionate about the Shenango Valley because, and this too from living here. It's like people always want to talk about what a place was. It's like, oh man, back in the day we had this, and this. And it's like, listen, I've been blessed to be to 40 some states, I've been to places across the world, and I've seen a decent amount for a 28-year-old. And I tell a lot of people, listen, we can do things in the Shenango Valley.
Yeah.
Like that's the past. We can do things. We just gotta, get our network out there, get our web out there, cast some nets, and it's go time,
Yeah.
So, and that's the cool thing about the Shenango Valley is I do see, there is a little bit of momentum, and there's thinking, and there's some people that have begun to invest in downtown Sharon, and some things are starting to change, which is a great thing.
Just the good people, man. So many good people live there. Good, caring, hardworking Americans, working there, man. You got, like I said, man, yeah, I learned a lot of my work ethics by just watching, good people of Shenango Valley, Sharon, Farrell, Sharpsville, do their thing, man, and man, it's an amazing place.
Yeah. And really, I mean, the Western PA, Eastern Ohio, kind of the Rust Belt. I mean, that is the heartbeat of America, right?
Yes.
Here's another question. Who besides your mom had the most influence in your life from the Shenango Valley?
Wow, from Shenango Valley. Okay.
It's a good one.
Okay. There's 2 guys in the weight room that I became real good friends with in the Beal Club. One of his name's Alex Jarosky, and he played for Clarion. He went to play football for Clarion. And there's another guy, his name was Bobby Blutzel. These guys were huge guys that were just humongous. And we became real good friends, and they really taught me how to correctly be disciplined, lift weights, correctly eat. Had a huge influence on my kind of like bodybuilding and weight training career.
Interesting. So were those 2 guys, are they much older than you?
They were about 3-4 years older than me, not a lot older, 3-4 years older than me. But they were jacked.
Yeah. So that room upstairs, was that, I mean, was it just for certain people, or was it anybody that wanted to go up there could go up there?
No, you have to get the key from the front desk. So you have to go to the front desk and get the key. And because they didn't want to give a kid, like something like a 10-year-old a key to, free weights because they're going to go kill themselves.
Right.
So you have to be a certain age or whatever this, and I have to be able to get the key. And back then I couldn't get the key, so I'll have the guy go get it, and we'll go get it up to together and work out. So, but it was, yeah, it definitely wasn't open for anybody to just walk in.
Yeah. So let's get back to the camp. Is it a lot of weight loss programs? Is that what a lot of it is?
Yeah, we specialize in weight loss because what we do is we combine high intensity interval training, which is proven to increase your basal metabolic rate 24 to 36 hours after workout, combined with a sound nutrition program so that we have explosive weight loss.
Okay, and what is the fee if somebody wants to join the camp?
So the camp, the fee is like $127 a month. It's unlimited classes, unlimited sessions, and it's like having a personal trainer 7 days a week.
Gotcha. So I'm going through a question here. It says there's another question. Sam, can you tell us your top 3 books?
Okay, okay. I have a lot of good books, but I would say my top 3 books. How to win friends and influence people, Think and Grow Rich, and I would say what to say to yourself when you talk to yourself.
There you go, folks. Top 3 books. If you're watching now, we're on the Zip Code with Sam Bakhtiar. We got about 15 or so minutes before Instagram kicks us off. And Sam, let's talk about your cars. Can you just name some of your cars? I mean, I know you got a collection.
So let me show you. You want to show you a couple of them?
Yeah, show me. Yeah.
All right. So guys, this is a house, man. So you come in. This is the little staircase, and this is the piano room.
That's where you do your pull-ups there on that chandelier.
Yeah, for you, right there. And fun fact, that chandelier, you can lower it down to clean it. So it's like an electric motor. This is the dining room that we never eat. It kind of looks cool though. And this is the kitchen. That's Isaac and Justin. I was telling you about those guys that
What's up, fellas?
Now they work for me. And this is where my kid took over now. Look, this is all baby takeover stuff now. And all right, let's look at a couple of cars. So this is like the Ferrari. That's the 488 GTB. And this is the Lamborghini Performante. And that's the Mercedes G-Wagon Brabus. Just a few cars.
So are they sitting there a lot of times, or every once in a while you just take them out?
Every once in a while I take them out, but you know what? It's funny because like in the morning, man, I'm in a rush, so I don't want to take it out of the garage and all that. I just jump in my Infinity. He's already out there. It's already good. I can just roll out, And but yeah, today, man. Matter of fact, after we get out, I think I'm going to take the Lambo out for a little ride, go get something to eat, and kind of go through the gears and have some fun.
There you go. Hey, if you could go back inside, I think the connection's wavering a tad bit. If you can still hear me.
All right, let me go back in. All right.
Now, does anybody just drive you around while you work, or do you usually just drive yourself?
Oh no! Isaac drives me around all the time. A lot of times, if I have to go to LA, and if I have to be in traffic and stuff like that, I'd rather work because I don't want to come home with a bunch of work left. So I have Isaac or Justin drive me so that I can be more productive.
Yeah. So let's talk a little about mentorship. When did you really start to realize that you need a coach or you need a mentor and you need somebody that kind of, coaches you through life a little bit? What age did you kind of seek that out, or did that naturally happen with some of your mentors?
No, unfortunately, I didn't do it soon enough. I should have done it in my 20s. But in my 20s, all I want to do is bodybuilding, lift weights, and make it okay living. But when I decided that, hey, man, I want to get married, I want to have a family, and now I got to take the business for real. And what do I need to do? That's when I started investing in a mentor and started writing my first check for the mentor, and that was like the best investment. Every time I've got mentors, I got 10x return on my investment.
So you legitimately pay a mentor?
Of course. I mean, here's the thing. Nobody takes free advice seriously. Okay, nobody takes free advice seriously. If you want somebody to mentor you, pay them for the time, pay them for the respect, and be like, hey, look, man, I want to pay you for you to mentor me. This way they know you're serious.
Right.
You don't want to become an asshole. An asshole is somebody who keeps asking questions but then they never do anything. When you have skin in the game, then it's important to you that you're going to make happen. The last thing somebody wants to do is mentor you and you don't take any action.
Yeah. So how did you seek this mentor out? Did you literally go on Google and said, I'd like to pay a mentor or mentors in the LA area?
No, all you do, we live in a information age with Google. There's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. There are people out there right now that are doing what you want to do already. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. They already made all the mistakes. They already messed everything up. They already know what to do and what not to do. All you have to do is, meet a friend, ask them to mentor you, pay for their mentorship, buy their programs, and kind of jumpstart your success. You bypass so many mistakes. I made so many mistakes. That's why I told you I wish I would have had a mentor earlier. Yeah. I would have been a billionaire, not a millionaire.
There's a lot of people that are just afraid to make that first mistake. After you kind of get used to it, right? Just being an entrepreneur, it's going to come. It's inevitable. Yeah. Folks, here is Sam Bakhtiar. We got about 10 minutes or so left before Instagram kicks us off. Sheets running done. Thank you, Sheets. Sheets, Sam Bakhtiar loves your hot dogs.
I love Sheets, period, man. I love Sheets.
Hey, this is great for the sponsorship, man. The more you say that, it just is great.
No, it's true, man. I'm not, if I didn't like it, I'll tell you I didn't like it, man. But I mean, they got food, they got drinks, they have ice cream, and they have quality stuff, man. It's not like the normal convenience store. They got a bunch of junk. They got actually healthy food, whatever you want. They got good stuff.
Yep. No, absolutely. We had a question come through, Sam, that I'll just get to. It said, how old were you when you made your first million?
I was 34.
34. And I don't know if this is public knowledge or not. If it is, you don't have to share it with us. But how much is the camp worth now?
The camp is worth probably about 60 million right now.
Okay. And then you add on some other things that you're doing, so you're well on your way.
Yeah, we're getting close to 100 million mark right now.
Okay. I saw that one video. You'd like to write you a check for $100 million by the time you're 50, correct?
It's already there. 5/1/2023. It's already written. I'm going to cash that check, and I'm going to enjoy life. But I'm also going to come back and invest some money in Shenango Valley.
Hey, I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that.
Of course. And I got to get back.
Yeah, and you and I eventually will talk, because I've had a bunch of ideas for the last 28 years. So let me just shoot them your way.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this, because this is something that you touched on just by having cars, having money, having the shoes. Let's talk a little bit about everybody just they long for success, right? And a lot of times earthly success, people measure that by money. Yeah. So here we are. We're talking to you. Maybe somebody's thinking that right now. But now that you have money, what is it that you think about? Like, what is it that you measure success by in your mind right now?
Great question. Success to me is peace of mind. Success to me is freedom. You can make $100 million a month, but if you don't have your freedom, if you're slave to your business, if you slave, and you can't do whatever you want to do, when you want to do and how you want to do, then you're not free. We all come to America for freedom. We all come here for the land of the free, home of the brave. But if you're getting up and busting your ass all day, going to a job that you don't like, with people who you work that you don't really get along with, and have to sit in traffic and come back, that's no life. So for me, success is knowing that right now, the world is shut down. I'm okay. That to me is success. It's not the Lamborghini. It's not the Ferrari. It's not the jewels, not the watches, not the mansion. It's none of that. It's peace of mind. At the end of the day, it's peace of mind, happiness.
Yeah. And it's interesting because sometimes, actually my church is right next to the Buell Club. So the building that looks exactly like the Buell Club, that's my church. So I
I know
basically,
exactly where that's at. My mom went there a couple of times.
yeah, so I basically grew up there. But it's funny because sometimes we'll be dropping kids off from youth group or, doing something in the community, and I'll see people and sharing, just hanging out on their front porch. And when I drive past that sometimes, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? That that's something that's kind of like the American dream right there. You got peace of mind and you're just relaxing on your front porch, hanging and fellowshipping, with one another. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get to one of the last questions here. It says, what mistakes did you make that prevented you from currently becoming a billionaire?
A lot. One mistake I made was when I started my company, I thought because certain things was done a certain way, when I started my business, I should still do it the same way as well. I didn't do my own research. For example, when I first started my company, all my trainers were independent contractors, right? And then I realized that wasn't the right way, and I got audited. But I was an independent contractor when I was a trainer. So I thought, well, I was an independent contractor, but no, that's not how it's supposed to be done. So you got to do your own research, your own due diligence. That's why mentorship becomes so easy because some people already done it. I could have asked somebody if I had a mentor. My mentor would have told me that's the wrong way of classifying them. So that cost me about $100,000 in attorney fees and all that kind of stuff to be able to settle. Marketing. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't know anything about systems. But if I know things about marketing, sales, and systems, I would have been able to grow at a lot faster rate. I would be able to, probably have 200, 300, 400 locations by now if I started earlier.
Yeah. Now, are you guys expanding east or no?
Absolutely. We're in Illinois right now. We're in Florida, and we want to come more closer to, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and and the tri-state area.
So back when the camp started, was that basically kind of a last ditch effort for you during the recession? Like, hey, I'm pushing everything in. Let's start this thing, and it has to work for me.
I had absolutely, I literally, I was going through a recession. I had $11,000 in my name. And I spent the last $9,000 of it to open up the camp. So I had no more cushion. I went from making 20, 30 grand a month to my last $11,000. And I put 9,000 of it in, pretty much 90% of it in. All right, let's roll the dice. Let's go.
So in 2008, 2009, let's just call it somewhere around there, you were worth $11,000.
No, in 2008, I was worth minus $315 because at one point, my bank account said minus $315. I was overdrawn. We were pregnant with our first child, 6 months. I was negatively overdrawn in the bank. I didn't want to go to the bank because I was ashamed. And I had bills due. I was getting foreclosures notice on the house. In 2010, after not paying the house for 2 years, because I was getting foreclosure notice on the house, and just by sheer, selling everything and trying to be as frugal as possible for 2 years, I made $11,000. That's all I had in my name, all the cushion I had. I went in with $9,000, and then I had only $2,000 left in the bank.
Now, do you think that's part of your success, just knowing where you came from? You came from Iran, you came from Sharon, you were minus $315. So you had no choice, right?
Right. I had no choice. I burned the boats. You know what I mean? And the thing is this, man, I've been poor before. I was poor most of my life. I'm not afraid of being poor. I'm not afraid of being poor. It's not, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I wasn't born to millionaire parents. I've eaten dirt. I've eaten dirt most of my life. I've been poor. I've been in the projects. I got food stamps. So I'm not afraid of that. Where people they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Oh my God, I can't have that, man. I can't eat bread for the rest of my life and I'll be fine. Just bread. I can. I'm good. When I wake up and I look at this, I'm like, man, I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe this is my house. I can't believe this is my car. I can't believe that I don't have to balance a checkbook. I don't believe that I look at every penny that's going in every out. I can't believe it. So this is a bonus. But if I have to go back and being poor, if I can go back and drive a 77 Volkswagen Rapid diesel, I'm cool with it because I've done it before.
Yeah. No, I mean, God has certainly blessed you, and what I admire the most, Sam, is He's blessed you with some determination, man.
Yeah.
That's great. So I'm going to get to the very last question before we end the show. What do you see when you come back in the Shenango Valley? And for those of you that don't know about the Shenango Valley, Western Pennsylvania, where I grew up, where Sam grew up, where I currently live, what do you see when you come back that, you know what, you think the Shenango Valley needs this? And it can be an intangible or it can be something tangible. What is kind of like your vision that you see, like, you know what, it should move in this direction?
I think Shenango Valley needs more people who are proactive in being an advocate and bringing it up to all the potential that it has. It has so much potential, but I feel like a lot of us have given up on it.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, Sharon, like you said, they talk about what they used to be. And for me, that's my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve because some of my family members used to always say, "Well, we used to have this and we used to have that. We used to have this one." I'm like, I don't care about what you used to have. I want to know where you are right now and where you're going. Okay? You can't change the past. The past is the past. You can't predict the future. All you got to do is have a plan today, execute the plan, and go where you're supposed to go.
Yep. I love it. I love it. And folks, on that note, I'm going to thank you guys for tuning in to the Zip Code. Sam, seriously, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate
you, man. Thank you. It was an honor and privilege, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing your show explode. You're an amazing host. Great questions. And man, send me some sheets, bro.
Hey,
some hot dogs.
We will send you some hot dogs. And listen, the next time you're in the Shenango Valley, we'll get some Scotto's pizza.
For sure.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. If you follow the Zip Code, make sure you follow Sam Bakhtiar as well. He's got some incredible stuff. He's got an incredible story. And Sam, once again, thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you, and I hope you'll be a friend of the show in the future.
God bless. Thank you so much.
All right, you too. Love you, Shenango Valley.